Okay, hi everyone. So today I have someone that I've known for more than 10 years, doing really well, and what I want to do today is just to find out a bit more about his experiences and how you can possibly benefit from his years of experience, insights, and wisdom. Okay, so this is Rash, and who is commonly known as the six-pack investor. So yeah, so Resh, just to, first for those people that might not know you, will you just share a bit of a story about yourself first?
Man, where do I start, man? So I got to know Marc in not secondary, in JC,
Yeah.
right? So we were actually in St Andrews Junior College together, and that's where I first got to know him.
Yep.
Right, but from then I basically gone on to build my businesses, grew my investment portfolio. Right now, today I'm an international speaker. I speak all over the world on investing in the stock market. I'm currently right now the director of Buffett Online School, right, where I work directly with the daughter-in-law of Warren Buffett himself, Mary Buffett, to actually bring this program and this mentorship all around Asia. So that's me. And pretty much what I do today. And yes, I wrote this book called The Six Pack Investor, a young man's guide to getting rich and ripped. And that's my book, which I wrote 2 years ago now, simply to actually share my journey or my passion in investing, business, and fitness.
Yeah. So might you want to just share a bit of the audience? I think for those that maybe are wanting or just interested to get started in their journey to whether is it investing or businesses, how's your own journey like, and how do you get started to go about doing it?
So how I got started, how I got started came out of dire circumstances. Sometimes I feel that the things really happen when your back is against the wall. When your back's against the wall and you have nowhere else to go, that's when magic happens. That's when that's when businesses flourish, because you have to think out of the box, right? And that was what actually happened to me many years ago. For me, it started when I was in NS. Actually, not going too much into the story, but in NS, what I actually I came to a point where I realized that I really didn't want to go down the normal route of going to a uni, getting a degree, and trying to apply for a job which will give me a pay of what 2.53K. Like, I wasn't interested in that, man. Like, and my back was against the wall in the sense that my mom told me that, hey, look, Rash, by the time you finish army, you better be financially independent, right? And if you're not, you're gonna get your ass to uni and get a job. Like, that's it. So I told myself, like, shit, I have to make things happen. And for me, my ORD date was deadline day. So it was tick tock every single day, and I worked my ass off to learn everything I could about business, about investing, so that I could actually start my journey in business entrepreneurship. And that was basically what happened for me, right? Back against the wall, I had to do whatever I could. I didn't have a lot of money. I was in NS, getting an allowance, and that's it. But I made it happen, right? And that's how he got to know me as well.
Yeah.
Right, in my journey where I built up my businesses and stuff like that. So that was crazy, man. So I realized that magic happens when your back is against the wall.
Okay, wow, I think that's a great insight. When back against the wall, that's when the magic really happens.
Absolutely, and dude, just to share something. Sometimes, like then you might ask, sometimes like, then how do you do it if your back is not against the wall,
Yep.
right? Like, and for me, create situations where your back is against the wall, right? So, like in fitness, for example, in my own fitness journey, like when I was first starting, I set like I put a date down, right? I literally put a date down, like I booked a photo shoot. In 12 weeks, I paid $500 for that photo shoot, right? And told the photographer, like, dude, we're gonna do a full, just an underwear shoot, right? And 12 weeks, and I already paid him.
Yep.
So I have no choice but to wake up and freaking work out and get that shit done, right? So I created that thing, right? And then after that, I went into like fitness modeling competitions, and I signed up for the competition. And dude, you have to train, right? You can't go on stage looking like a joke,
Yeah.
right? So in that sense, you mentally create that barrier, right? Whereas most people, they go about, and if they do, it's okay. If they don't do, it's okay. So
Yeah.
that's why they never achieve any results.
Yeah, I think what you shared was, I think, really insightful is the sense that yes, a lot of people they are pretty comfortable,
Yep.
and that's why they might not be able to move to the next level. So what you can do is, let's say, if yes, now you are living, for example, a 9 to 5 job, things are pretty comfortable, is to create situations like what he did to really bring himself to the next level. Right. So I guess now, over how many years have you been training investors? and your
training
students already?
investors.
Yeah,
This has been in 2013, right? So it's
2013 is about
7 years, 6 years,
7 years. So I guess now you have seen like hundreds, thousands of students, maybe, all right,
more than hundreds.
more than hundreds of, yeah, so around the
So I
world.
speak to thousands.
Thousands, yeah. So I guess you already see there are different groups of people. So I guess one group is those people that take your info and they achieve massive results. Okay, thanks. So then the next group is those people that they receive the exact same info. They might receive maybe mediocre or average results, and then there are those that take the exact same info, but they were never able to achieve their intended result. So from your own experience, what do you think are the key differences between people in these different groups of people? And how will you advise anyone that might be wanting to come on to not just like, for example, BOS, but any course for that matter that can help them to achieve?
Very simple. Two things, man. Two things. I want to share with you 2 stories, right? So there's this video that I did recently. Somebody actually came up to me and actually asked me this question: Resh, how soon can I start earning $1,000 a month through investing? And my answer was very simple. My answer was, how much stamina do you have? Right, how much stamina do you have? Because in the end of the day, people will love to advertise. You can make $1,000 a day in a week. You can get your 6-pack in 30 days, right? Everybody loves to hear that. Everybody likes to buy that shit up, right? But the truth of the matter is, when things don't go your way, when things don't go as you intended, when things get boring, will you still be willing to do what you need to do, right? So the question always comes down to how much stamina do you have, right? So I think that is really, really, really very, very important, and that's something to actually always think about, right? When things are not as good, are you still going to do the things you need to do? That's number one. And number two, the second story that I want to share is very simply, fairly recently when I went to Malaysia, there's this one guy who I met 2 years ago. He didn't know anything about investing. Today he's a full-time trader. He's quit all his jobs. This is what he's really, really focusing on. And what I realized was this, right? What I realized was, hold on for a bit, Yeah. So what I realized was this. I went. Right now he's a full-time trader, and what I realized was that he brought me out for dinner, and when I went into his car, there were literally, he had to remove all these books from the passenger seat. Right? He had to remove all these books from the passenger seat, and he's like, "Hey, Rash, I'm sorry." And there were all these books, and I was like, "Man, what's this?" Right? And he told me like, "Oh, dude, I right now after a class every day I wake up and I start reading, I start learning." And when I was talking to him, I realized that shit, man, this dude knew stuff that I didn't know. Right? He went into this learner mode to learn everything that he could. And he told me that his daily routine, every day he'll wake up and he'll start, watching videos, reading books on investing, on trading, and he's learned so much. And I realized that was not really successful. Right? All I did as a trainer, all I did as a mentor was to light a spark. Right? All I did was to light a spark, but he took that and he ran with it. And I guess that's the difference between people who are successful and people who are not. Right? The main difference is that, man. Like, those who are successful, in the end of the day, people, those who are not successful come to me and always tell me, "Hey, Rash, how can you not teach me this? How can you not teach me that?" Hey, well, the thing is, I'm learning stuff every day as well. Like, there's so much for you to actually go and learn. But are you going to take on the responsibility? Are you going to have the excitement to go and, use what you have learned, but to go and research and go and learn all that other stuff that you have to learn? And that's the main difference, man. Are you going to have the initiative yourself, or are you going to just wait for somebody to spoon feed you? If you have the mentality of wanting to be spoon-fed, like, "Oh, just give me everything," you're just not going to succeed, man. The ones who are widely successful, the ones who are massively successful, are the ones who take like crazy incentive to go and learn. And interestingly, it's the same for me as well. Like sometimes, I give credit to my mentors and stuff like that. But honestly, if you really truly ask me like what they do, honestly, nothing much, right? Sure, I attended a class, I was just one of the students, but I took the information and I freaking ran with it, and I had crazy results, right? So I give them credit, but honestly, it was a lot of my own personal initiative to go and freaking crush it, man.
Okay, yeah. So two things you mentioned. So firstly, it's really stamina to keep going no matter how you feel, no matter how boring it might even be. And secondly, I think really taking initiative to do your own, research, to do your own learning, and not just rely on whether it's your trainer, your mentor, or even other people to get your success. So I think for number one, what if someone says like, Resh, I want to do well, but I don't think I have a lot of stamina to achieve what I want. How can I build up the stamina or to make sure that I take the consistent action?
So this is it's a great question, man. A lot of people struggle with it, right? Straight up, right? This is the biggest thing that most people actually fail with, and I guess I like to put it as I like to always share this analogy of in the gym, right? If you just say yourself that, hey, hey, let's go to it. I'm going to commit to going to the gym. Sometimes you might cheat on yourself. And honestly, it's kind of easy to cheat on yourself, right? Let's be real. But if I've already made a commitment to Rash, Marc, let's go together, right? And you already tell me that you're there. Like, fuck, I'm going to be there.
Yep.
Right, I'm going to be there because, and if you do skip and you do tell Marc, I do tell you, and I'm just being an asshole, right?
Yeah.
So, what I'm trying to get at is very, very simply to have accountability to somebody, right? So, to not just go down this journey on your own, but to actually do it as a person, right? So, when the thing is, we all feel something when there's somebody else has a vested interest. When somebody else is actually involved with it, then you feel like, hey, shit, I gotta at least live up to him and actually turn up. Right, but when it's just yourself, sometimes it's easy to cheat on yourself. That's the truth. You tell yourself, yeah, I'm going to run 5 kilometers, and then later you're like, maybe tomorrow. Right, and that's what happens in everything as well. So when I commit to, okay, dude, let's go run 5 kilometers together, then each of us encourage each other and we push each other forward as well. So that's what really, really helps, and that's what I encourage for people to do.
Okay, yeah. So I think that's a great point because by having don't even need to have just one accountability partner. You can actually have multiple, whether it's different areas of your life, and not only to have one accountability partner, but people that will push you together. So I think that's a really great lesson. Is the people that you hang out around with. I think that's
absolutely, man. It's always it's repeated like crazy, especially for me. But I cannot stress enough how important that is, right? To always surround yourself with people who have a bigger vision. A bigger, everything. They see things in a bigger way, and you just want to achieve more. And that's what has really accelerated my success, especially over the last 2 years, man.
Sure, but really hanging out with the right people that will push you.
Absolutely, man. Always hanging around people who are better than you, who think bigger, and at the moment that you find that you're the highest producer, like get the hell out, because that's when you start getting comfortable. You don't want to get comfortable, man. Right, you want to be around people who are killing it, and when you're around that people, then man, that's where you grow.
Okay, I think that's a great point. But so I think then the second one, which is what you said, is about taking initiative, doing not just taking just learning and just hoping everything will be spoon fed, but really taking initiative to push through and all. So for those people that yes, they want to achieve success, they want to learn, but they might not know where to start. What sort of tips will you give them to see, like, how would you know what do I even have to do in the first place if I want to get to where I am?
So there's 3 steps. This is what Tony Robbins shared last year. Right, UPW actually shared this, and I thought it was massively valuable. So number one, model somebody who is massively successful in whatever area that it is. Right, that's number one. Number two, get completely immersed in that subject matter. Right, like literally. Go to the library, go to wherever it is, and pull out 10 books. Most people haven't even read 10 books on their area of expertise. Honestly speaking, most people haven't even read that. Right? By reading 10 good books on that area, that it sets you apart in terms of so much knowledge compared to everybody else. That's number two. Completely immerse yourself in books, in audio, whatever it is in the subject matter. And number three, practice spaced repetition. With a mentor, space repetition with a mentor. So not just finding a mentor, but actually having the opportunity to actually sit down and practice with that person. right? And that's what I offer with my speaking as well, right?
Yeah.
So like Marc is one of my speaking graduates as well. And yes, a lot of people come to me, they practice spaced repetition. I sit down with them and they practice, and I correct them, and we get practice again and again and again. So that's exactly what you need. And interestingly, just to share an actual example, it's exactly what Warren Buffett did himself.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you actually know this story, right? So who did he model? He modeled after his professor, right, which was who was Benjamin Graham, right? But here's the thing. So that's number one. He modeled him. He read like crazy. Warren Buffett. He reads like crazy. He read everything about investing. He was a top student, right? But he didn't just stop there. What did he do next?
You mean to disturb him, and
he went to basically offer his time, his services, and he told Benjamin Graham, dude, I'll work for you for free, right? Why? Because he wanted to be in the space of a mentor, or somebody who was actually doing the stuff, was actually investing, having a fund, and he worked for him for free, and he had spaced repetition with that mentor. And dude, that's exactly how he is who he is today, because he practiced these 3 steps. Look at everybody who has actually achieved level of success. These 3 principles, man.
Yep. Okay. So I guess I think that was great. So what Tony Robbins says is 3 big steps. To summarize is get to model after someone successful. Secondly is to really go complete immersion into the subject. So not so I guess it's not, for example, if you
get obsessed
with the topic. So for example, like, if you learn about investing, it's not about, okay, I'll just spend especially when you first start out, it's not about every week I'll spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes reading about investing, but maybe just take 2-3 full days to really just go all out, to really immerse yourself in the subject, and then to build up your knowledge and skill sets, where then after that, after you have gotten good enough, maybe you can do a bit more space. Then I think thirdly, then I guess what you said is spaced repetition with a mentor. So I think the part on the mentor is very important, because then the person is able to guide you, and in a sense also to be of sorts your accountability partner as well. Okay, so thanks for the sharing. So I think I just have one last question. It's basically, let's say, right, suddenly today you lost everything. You lost your money, you lost all your reputation, and then now you're like being transported to a secluded city where there's Wi-Fi, you have a roof over your head, you have a home and all, but basically you have no money, no resources, no reputation, no kaki to call for help. How would you, what will you do? What would the first 30 days, what will you do to make sure that you get to bounce back? But not only just bounce back, but to go beyond how successful you are right now.
So very, very simple, man. I love the question, and I always share this in my seminars. I can lose everything. I can lose my money, I can lose my house, I can lose properties, I can lose everything, right? But I can never lose one thing. And the one thing that I can never lose, and you cannot take it away from me, is my experience and my skill set. That's something that you can never take away, right? Which comes back down to my point, like, it's so important to invest in yourself. Right? Why? Because that knowledge that you actually acquire can never disappear. The skills that I know with regards to investing, this will last me for a lifetime. Like you cannot take this away from me, man. My ability of being able to speak and to sell, for example, something that will stay with me for life. I've honed it to mastery at this point of time. So, dude, like, there's 2 skills which I just mentioned, very, very important. Right? Number one is the skill of basically learning how to sell. Right, learning how to sell, and number 2, the skill of learning how to market. I believe that in the end of the day, everybody should really go out there to master these 2 skills: learning how to sell and mastery of marketing. The reason why is because these 2 skills, guys, will put food on the table all day, every day. Right, that's the only 2 skills that you got to learn. Seriously, like, no joke, right? And yeah, dude, like, seriously, like, straight up, like, if you put me on a random island and whatever, the first thing that I'll do is, I'll find a issue, right? I'll find a problem, right? I'll find a problem which people are facing, for example, right? I'll write down, I'll think of all the different things which they're facing problems in, and I'll provide a solution. Provide a solution for that, right? Provide a solution for that, and just think of what. So very, very simply, when you come and nobody knows you, you don't have to have a brand or whatever. But the most important thing is that you can actually solve a particular problem.
To solve a problem.
So if you can solve a problem in wherever you are, then that will set you up. And thirdly, basically, I'll use my skills of going to people, speaking to people, and selling them a solution. Right? And if I'm able to sell them the solution, that's when I can exchange for my money exchange for my time or my experience for money. And that's exactly what I'll do, man. Dude, like interesting that you say that, but I've done this so many freaking times, in literally places that I go to where nobody knows me. I'm able to just create money just like just like that. It's crazy. Exactly what I did in Barcelona as well, right? 2 years ago, when in Barcelona, nobody knew me. Nobody knew Rash. I just was there. I was the only Singaporean there, and I went there, and I left with, I don't know, man, with nearly 6 figures in sales closed. Right, no joke, man. That's nobody knew me, right? By the end of the day, everybody was coming to me and dude, wow, I need to learn what I need to know what you're learning and stuff like that. People came from all over the world to come and attend my seminars in Singapore, Malaysia, in Europe, all of that. And man, there's been And what did I have? I had a skill set which I knew of, and I provided them a solution.
Yep.
Right. The solution was, I can show you exactly how you can start building a portfolio to start making consistent income every single month. And dude, people came like flies to a jar, right? And that's exactly how I did it.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is basically, firstly, to really find out master the skill sets of sales and marketing, to really learn how to talk to people and how do you sell an idea to get them to persuade them. But I think pause. Okay. So what I'm hearing is basically you will have 3 key things you'll do. I think firstly is to build up your skill set, and of course it's marketing and sales. So I think one thing I heard from a mentor was that a good product will not make you rich, but knowing sales and marketing will actually get you to be rich. So I think that's a great tip there. I think then secondly is really to find a problem to a solution, and then to solve the problem for whoever you intend to do. Right, so I think these two are the key things, and I think anyone out there could actually help to implement whatever you just shared. All right, so anyway, so that's the end of our interview. Thanks, Resh, and I think the final question is, where can they find you?
Sorry, it's just so I've been mentoring Marc for many years, and interestingly, one of the first things that I actually asked him, do you remember what it was? To join what company?
Join a sales company.
Yeah. One of the first things that I actually asked him to do, right? Like when he asked me many years ago, the first thing that I asked him to do was, not to go and get a normal job. I asked him to go and work at this company called Appco, right? Where he literally was on the road, selling stuff.
Yeah.
How was that for you, man?
Initially uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then after that, of course, you got better at it.
Did you learn a lot of skills?
A lot of skills. How to talk to people, and also last time I was pretty quiet introvert. I didn't really like to speak a lot. I was actually pretty quiet then, but I think through the experience that I got a lot more confident in speaking, and also typically when I speak to so-called strangers and all, usually I'm able to communicate with them pretty quickly to build rapport and all. Yeah.
Did you face rejection?
Of course, many rejections.
Yeah.
So initially when I first started, we actually we didn't keep track of how many sales we did, but we actually kept track of how many rejections we had. So how many people we approached and how many people rejected us. So that was a cool experience. Yeah, funny you brought it up.
Yeah, dude, seriously, that's the first thing that I did, because that's what I first started with myself, right? And learning to know my vitamin. That was what it was for me, man. And that was the foundation and the building blocks to everything that I've achieved today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, very interesting brought it up, but yeah. Anyway, so I think back to my last question is, where can my audience find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Six Pack Investor. Put that in. Find me there. Facebook as well, Six Pack Investor. You'll get to my Facebook page. That's how you can actually find me. Just search up Six Pack Investor and you'll get me. Get my book on Amazon as well. Just search for the Six Pack Investor and get my book on Amazon too.
Okay, great. Hey, thanks, Resh, for today. Definitely see you around soon. And take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.